Arrived where we get to put the siding on the shed. So I got a couple pieces up, had a system malfunction. We're going to switch it over to so you can watch us put the rest of it on. Here we're using that little giant ladder to put the ridge bin on, or I'm sorry, the ridge cap. Throughout this process, I've noticed that we went with new metal because the previous barn structure, though it had some really good pieces of metal in it, I found that I was able to put my foot through a few of them, and it's just not what we're looking to do. We're using new products to make it look like, you know, it's been there a little while. But to put the ridge cap on, I basically lined it up, put a couple screws in it, and then go around to the back and get the other half. The shed itself is 16 foot long. I think it's right. No, 24 foot long. Anyway, the two pieces that I got weren't long enough to reach it, so they have to overlap a little bit, maybe a foot and a half or at the most. I set this up in the back, get up there, put a couple screws in it, then I got to get on the roof and connect it about every foot. See manufacturer's recommendations, obviously, but just self-starting screws with a rubber gasket on them. Nothing fancy, but everything we're trying to build, we're trying to make it last. It's harder than you think to make something look old using new stuff. The part where the ladder is right now, that's the only thing left to do with the siding. As soon as we got this done, I believe we called it a day, or we went over and met some really nice people, picked up a load of pine that they had literally cut the day before into strips, and we used the saw cut wood, the rough cut wood, just to give it the appearance like it's been there a while. Plus, it's really durable. Right here, this little giant ladder is what I use to get up there, and it is by far the handiest ladder I've ever used, for sure. We got a few safety things to go through, and we'll get back to the action.
That looks
sheet metal seems thinner than this. One side done.
Dear mother trucker, sons of biscuits.
Got to be safe. That's why I got that rope. Paul Metz is the safest person you know.
And on this side, it's basically just rinse and repeat, honestly. Doing the back side now, we put the screws about maybe a foot or so apart, and the trees that are around this are big enough that if they hit this roof, it'll do some damage, but I don't think it'll go through it. And the whole purpose of this was just to get our stuff out of the barn into a secure, dry place. Not that secure is a big issue, but the dry part is a huge one. We're kind of in a rush, and again, try to keep in mind when we go down to work here, you really only have about maybe 20 hours or so of actual work. I will prepare for a trip, for hours and hours and hours in my head, thinking, oh, I need this, I need that, I can do this, I can do that. And every time I get down there, something else happens, something different. The part of this that people aren't seeing is there's about a 5/8 diameter Kern mantle climbing rope that's attached to the other side of the ladder that goes up over the hip or up over the ridge and down, and it's tied off to an oak tree and a pine tree. There's two different ropes on it. If one were to snap, the other one would hold it. But as you can see right here, I'm not even on the ladder, like I'm standing on the roof. And the hard part of it is, like, the structure itself is strong enough to hold. It's the metal. The metal. I didn't purposely try to get the thinnest metal I could find. I think I just got lucky on that. And we're really, really, really under the gun here because, as always, there's a deadline coming, with rain, or we got to hurry up and get some stuff done. And we're way past the point of just doing fill-in work or anything like that. Most of what we're doing is get as much done as fast as we can and get ready for the next trip. That's just how it is. We're really, really happy with the wood that we received from that couple that's down the road from us there. We trim it all out, like you would any structure. And I was really, really pleased with how straight it was. And they make it, and honestly, at this point, it's half the price of the lumber that's in the big box stores. The lumber that we've used so far has been big box store wood, Lowe's and Home Depot, and the metals Home Depot, the tie wrap obvious. And I think at this point we're in it to about, I want to say, $3,200 at this point. And we have all the trim to put on it, so we won't be repurchasing that. But we have to purchase maybe one or two more pieces of that T111. It's 4 inches to do the back, and I think we're going to do the pump house that's right next to that. We're going to lift the roof up on that a little bit, use that for some dry storage as well, and maybe a couple other projects that we got in mind. But the whole process of this is it's somewhat aggravating. What you can't see right now is it's probably about 92 degrees. The humidity is low. There's a decent breeze all the time, but you get aggravated, you get hot, you get sweaty, and you're aggravated because when you're 4 states away and you plan this whole weekend in your head, these 2 days of work, you try to plan for everything that could be wrong or everything that can go wrong, and then when something else happens, you get aggravated. So other than that, it was a great weekend. I would never try this without somebody down there with me, in case something was to happen, I fall off there or whatever. And my phone's always within voice shot, so I can holler for it, and it could dial 911 if I had to, I guess. But, it was a great trip. We got a lot done, and here's some pictures of the final parts. There's also some bloopers at the end of this, so I hope you guys enjoyed this and look forward to the next one.
You say hello? Say hello. Tell him. Say hello. Say hello. Who is it? You gonna tell him hello? Say hello. Aw, good girl.